Wait, before you swipe away thinking this is just another flattering fit video, answer me this. When was the last time you got dressed, looked in the mirror, and the very first thing your eyes went to was your stomach? Not your smile, not your outfit, not the color you picked out so carefully, just that one spot you've been trying to smooth down with your hand for the last 10 minutes before you even leave the bedroom. Maybe you turned sideways, maybe you changed 3 times, maybe you finally just grabbed a big loose top and told yourself it was comfortable, when really it was a surrender. I want you to know something right now, and I want you to actually hear it. That's not your body failing you. That's your closet failing you. There is a very real difference between the two, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why. So today, I'm counting down 7 dresses that hide a belly instantly. No shapewear, no Spanx digging into your ribs by 6 p.m., no holding your breath through an entire dinner, starting with the one that quietly does the job in the background, and building all the way up to the single dress that does it so well, women swear their tailor must have secretly taken it in. I'm not telling you which one yet, but I promise you, if you stay until the end, you'll understand exactly why everything before it was building toward it on purpose. Hey, gorgeous! Welcome back to Stylish 60+, the place where we prove that looking radiant past 60 was never about hiding who you are. It's about knowing which seam is working with your body instead of against it. So let's stop blaming ourselves and start the countdown. Number 7, the wrap dress. We start here because this is the dress that does its job without asking for credit, the reliable opener before things start climbing. The wrap dress creates a diagonal line across the torso, and that diagonal is exactly where your eye follows instead of settling on the midsection. It's an optical illusion you're quietly wearing. Here's the part most style videos skip entirely. It isn't really the wrap fabric doing the work, it's the tie itself. Because you control exactly how snug or how loose that tie sits, you decide how much definition shows, and how much stays soft and camouflaged, and you can adjust it differently depending on the day, the meal, or the mood. A jersey or matte cotton wrap dress does this far better than a stiff woven fabric, since stiff material clings and reports every detail straight back to the room instead of gently skimming past it. Picture this. You're meeting a friend for lunch, the kind of lunch with bread on the table and no intention of skipping dessert. You wear a fitted knit dress and you spend the entire hour subtly adjusting how you're sitting. Now picture the same lunch in a jersey wrap dress. You sit down, you relax, you laugh, and you never once think about your stomach because the diagonal tie is already doing that thinking for you. That's the entire difference. Tie it at your natural waist, not tighter, because that's exactly where the diagonal does its best work. Talbots and Chicos both carry reliable jersey wrap styles that hold their shape wash after wash without needing dry cleaning, which matters when this becomes a dress you reach for weekly instead of saving for special occasions. Number 6, the Empire waist dress. This one works on a completely different principle, and it's the reason so many women quietly call it their secret weapon. Instead of the waistline sitting at your actual waist, it sits higher, right under the bust. That single shift in seam placement changes everything because the fabric below it simply falls away from the body instead of skimming over it inch by inch. Here's the insider detail nobody explains clearly enough. There's nothing to smooth here, nothing to suck in, because the dress was never engineered to touch that area tightly in the first place. It's not hiding your stomach through clever tricks and misdirection the way some other cuts do. It's simply built so there's nothing there for anyone to notice at all. Look for a soft, flowing fabric below that empire seam, something with real drape and movement to it, since a stiff fabric here can still tent outward stiffly in a way that draws attention rather than releasing it gently. A rayon or modal blend genuinely outperforms cotton poplin in this specific cut, because poplin tends to hold its own shape rather than following the natural line of your body. Quick pause because I want to know something honestly. Out of these first 2, which one is already hiding in your closet right now? Type your answer in the comments below. I genuinely read every single one, and some of my favorite future videos come directly from what you tell me. Now let's keep climbing because this countdown is about to pick up real momentum. If the empire waist works by raising the waistline entirely, this one works by simply giving the fabric somewhere else to go. An A-line or swing dress flares gently from the bust or the waist all the way down to the hem, creating a soft triangle shape that floats away from the body instead of hugging it at any single point. Here's the part nobody mentions when they recommend an A-line dress. The flare has to start high enough on the body to actually work. A dress that stays fitted straight through the stomach and only begins flaring near the knee does almost nothing for you. It simply relocates the tight fabric instead of releasing it. You want the flare beginning right at the bust or the natural waist.
Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so glad we can connect like this. I want to encourage you to embrace every moment with joy and gratitude. Let's make today amazing together.
This video is going to walk through the 3 fabric weights that make or break every single flared silhouette, and you don't want to miss it. Eileen Fisher makes a beautifully simple swing dress in a lightweight linen blend that moves like this instinctively, and it's genuinely one of the most forgiving pieces in their entire lineup for exactly this reason. This next dress uses a trick most women have genuinely never even heard named out loud, even if they've worn it without realizing why it worked. Ruched is fabric that's deliberately gathered into soft folds, usually along one side seam or across a front panel, rather than being cut flat and smooth. Here's why it works so effectively. Gathered fabric creates its own natural shadow and texture across the surface, which means the eye simply cannot read a clean, uninterrupted line across your stomach the way it would on completely flat fabric. The folds themselves become the distraction, working exactly the same way a strategically placed scarf does, except this one is sewn permanently into the dress so you never have to think about repositioning it through the evening. Picture this scenario for a moment. You're at a family gathering, the kind with a long table, second helpings, and photos being taken all evening whether you're ready for them or not. A flat, smooth dress reports every single thing that happened at that table straight back to the camera. A side ruched jersey dress absorbs it instead, quietly in its folds, and you walk away from every photo without that familiar wince. A side ruched jersey dress is genuinely one of the most searched pieces in plus and petite departments online right now, and it's not because it's trendy this season, it's because it consistently works, season after season, regardless of what else is fashionable. This one feels like a secret because it's so comfortable that people genuinely forget it's doing strategic visual work behind the scenes the entire time you're wearing it. A dress with subtle texture, think ribbing, a soft waffle knit, or a gentle cable pattern, breaks up the surface of the fabric in a way completely flat. Smooth material simply cannot replicate. Flat fabric reflects light evenly across your entire midsection, and evenly reflected light reads every single contour underneath it with total clarity, which is exactly the opposite of what we want here. Texture scatters that same light in dozens of directions instead. And
Hello, lovely to see you today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you enjoy this, please give it a like. Thank you for your support.
if you're finding this useful so far, tap that like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more women exactly like you who are simply tired of dreading their own reflection. Pair a textured knit dress with a simple gold or silver pendant necklace, and you've elevated the entire look in about 10 seconds flat, while the texture underneath quietly continues doing the real work the whole time nobody's paying attention to it. We're near the top of this list now, and this dress earns its place because of something the 5 dresses below it barely even touch: genuine contour control through color placement rather than through cut alone. A color block dress uses a noticeably darker shade down the center panel or along the sides, paired deliberately with a lighter shade elsewhere on the same piece. Here's the science behind why this actually works. And it isn't opinion, it's simple, well-documented visual perception. Darker colors visually recede from the eye, lighter colors visually advance toward it. So a dress with a darker panel running directly down your midsection is literally tricking the eye into reading that entire area as smaller and further back than it physically is standing in the room. This is the exact same principle professional photographers rely on when they shoot a woman in a dark blazer layered over a lighter top for a portrait. It's not a coincidence. It's deliberate, tested visual engineering borrowed straight from portrait photography and quietly built into a dress. Look for a dress with a dark front and center panel paired with lighter side panels, since that specific combination narrows the center of your body while still keeping the overall look soft, wearable, and completely approachable rather than severe or overly structured. Quince and J. Jill both currently carry versions of this exact silhouette in a soft, it knit that holds its shape through a full day of wear without wrinkling in your bag or your suitcase. This is the one I teased at the very beginning, the one that quietly went viral last spring because it borrows every single trick on this entire list and combines all of them into one seamless dress. And once I walk you through why, you'll understand exactly why nothing else on this countdown could have taken the top spot instead. A faux wrap, sometimes called a surplice dress, gives you the exact same diagonal line as our number 7 wrap dress, but because it's sewn permanently shut instead of tied loosely, it never gapes, shifts, or loosens. Throughout a long day the way a true wrap sometimes can. It sits at an empire-adjacent seam, so the fabric below it already floats gently away from the body, exactly like our number 6 pick did. Most faux wrap dresses are also cut with a soft A-line flare beginning right at that same seam, giving you the identical triangle release we talked about at number 5. And because the surplus fabric naturally folds and overlaps itself at the front by design, you get a built-in version of the ruching effect from number 4, all without doing a single thing yourself to create it. It's every technique on this countdown working together at the exact same time in one single dress. That's genuinely the real reason behind that viral moment. A woman wasn't trying to hide anything dramatic. She simply put on a dress that had already solved the problem before she even looked in the mirror. Quick styling tip: add a thin belt at the narrowest point of the wrap if you want a touch more definition on a good day, and skip it entirely on the days you'd rather feel completely at ease. Either way, the dress does its job. Now let's bring this full circle because I want you to walk away with something you can actually use tomorrow morning, not just something you enjoyed watching tonight. We started with the wrap dress at number 7 for its diagonal illusion, then the empire waist releasing the fabric entirely above the stomach, the A-line swing giving that fabric somewhere real to flow, the ruched side using shadow and texture as built-in camouflage, the textured knit scattering light instead of reflecting every contour back at the room, the color block dress using genuine contour science borrowed from portrait photography, and finally the faux wrap, combining every single one of those techniques into one effortless dress. None of this requires shapewear digging into your ribs by the end of the night. None of it requires a diet, a trainer, or a single uncomfortable hour squeezed into something 2 sizes too small just to get through an event. It requires knowing which seam, which fabric, and which line is quietly doing the work for you, so you can finally stop doing that work yourself. That's really what this channel is about at its core, not telling you to hide, but teaching you to see what you already own differently. If this countdown gave you even one new way to look at your own closet today, that's genuinely a win in my book, and I'd love nothing more than for you to share that win with me. Drop a comment right now and tell me which number surprised you the most, or tell me which dress you're already reaching for tonight. And if you're new here, this is exactly why women keep coming back to Stylish 60 Plus every single week, uncovering another simple, practical shift that helps you feel exactly as radiant on the outside as you already know you are on the inside. Subscribe to Stylish 60 Plus right now, tap that bell, and I promise I will see you in the very next one. Stylish 60 Plus. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.